Hi, this is Matt, and again we're talking about what's in the Book of Mormon. Today we're talking about chapter 4 of 1st Nephi. So Nephi and his brothers have gone up to get the plates of brass from Laban and have not yet been successful. Beginning in chapter 4, Nephi is again encouraging his brothers. They are totally ready to give up, and Nephi is is encouraging them. If I were to choose a theme for this chapter, I would say it's the words of Nephi, "Let us be strong." He says in part to his brothers, "Let us go up, let us be strong like unto Moses. For he truly spake unto the waters of the Red Sea, and they divided hither and thither, and our fathers came through out of captivity on dry ground. And the armies of the Pharaoh did follow, and were drowned in the waters of the Red Sea. Now behold, ye know that this is true, and ye also know that an angel hath spoken unto you, wherefore can ye doubt? Let us go up, the Lord is able to deliver us, even as our fathers, and to destroy Laban, even as the Egyptians." So although his brothers are not convinced totally, they are at least willing, after his encouragement, to follow him. They're not really willing to go with him, so they walk up to the city. The brothers stay outside. Nephi says it's at nighttime. He doesn't know exactly what to do, but he says simply in verse 6, "I was led by the Spirit, not knowing beforehand the things which I should do." So he's willing to act in faith, to follow the Lord, to go and do what needs to happen to get those plates. And as he walks into the city, again, it's nighttime, it's dark, he finds a man laying drunk on the ground, and as he looks close, he realizes it's Laban. And the Spirit at first constrains him and says, slay Laban, you need to do this to get the plates. And Nephi's like, no, I really don't want to do that. And so he resists. He's encouraged again, and he begins to realize that Laban has been delivered into his hands, but he's also tried to kill Nephi and his family. He's stolen their property. He won't obey the commandments of the Lord, and it's for that purpose that he's been delivered into his hands. So Nephi summons up the courage to kill Laban. Upon doing so, he takes all of his clothing, his armor, his sword, puts it on his own body, walks into Laban's house, and is able to convince the servant holding the keys that he needs to take the plates of brass out to his brothers outside the city. And of course the servant doesn't realize what's going on, thinks that he's talking about the brethren of the Jews or whoever Laban had been out among. So they take the plates, they go out there, and Nephi's brothers, of course, are scared spitless when they see him coming. They think he's coming to kill him. The servant starts to realize what's going on, and he's scared. And obviously, Lehi and his family, the last thing they want is the Jews to know that they've left the city, because they would march down there and destroy them. So at this point, Nephi mentions something that's really peculiar in his day and time. It's not something that we have a great appreciation for in modern times, but in his time they did. And what he talks about is a sacred oath. And that because of the power of that sacred oath, they were able to maintain that situation. And so here's what he says in starting in verse 32. "It came to pass that I spake to Zoram." Now Zoram is the name of Laban's servant who has gone with him. Because he's scared, he's ready to flee. He says that if he would hearken unto my words, as the Lord liveth and as I live. So there's the sacred oath. He actually swears by the name of God and by his own life that if he would if he would hearken unto our words, we would spare his life. And I spake unto him, even with an oath, that he need not fear, that he should be a free man like unto us, if he would go down into the wilderness with us. And I also spake unto him, saying, Surely the Lord hath commanded us to do this thing, and shall we not be diligent in keeping the commandments of the Lord? Therefore, if thou wilt go down into the wilderness to my father, thou shalt have place with us. And it came to pass that Zoram did take courage at the words which I spake, and when Zoram had made an oath unto us, our fears did cease concerning him." So the reason I think that's particularly strong and interesting, obviously people in modern time and day and time don't necessarily keep their word with that kind of exactness. But Nephi says, once Zoram had made that same oath to us, we didn't even worry about him. We knew he wouldn't return to the city of Jerusalem, and he came with us into the wilderness. So hope you've enjoyed this a little bit. Feel free to read ahead next time. And until then, happy reading.